Grab a fence post, hold it tight, whomp your partner with all your might, hit him in the chin, hit him in the head, hit him again, that critter ain't dead. Da, 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 da. All right, if you are old enough to know what that's from, then you're about as old as me. So if Tulwood's watching, he'll probably recognize it. Man, is it Friday again? Are we a third of the way through March of 2022? Are you kidding me? And you know what a disappointment. It's March 11th, which in and of itself is not disappointing, but we're just 3 days away from Pi Day, real honest to goodness 3.14, March 14th Pi Day. But I started getting ads yesterday in email for Pi Day sales for organizations that have nothing to do with Raspberry Pi. I found that confusing because, you know, who celebrates Pi Day outside mathematicians and techno dweebs and dwerbs and all that good stuff? Oh, well. Hey, well, it is Friday, March 11th. It's 2:00 Central Standard Time. That's going to matter. Come Monday, we will no longer in the US be on standard time, but the show still happens at 2:00 saving time, whatever the correct pronunciation of it is. And that means if you are in a part of the world where you don't change clocks right now, at least, the show is going to be an hour earlier. Both Mike's AMAs and my drama show will be 1 hour earlier than you're used to. So get up a little bit earlier or get home a little bit earlier or do whatever you're going to do. Oh my goodness, what is going on over on the chat channel? Everybody's here. It's a good day for lots of chativity. There we go. Well, it is Friday. That means it's, what is that? Always something. It's Pi Day Friday. It's drama because I am Dave Rush. And this is an Ask Me Anything, and you slam them together and you get drama. I gotta stop explaining that. Everybody knows what drama means, right? Here comes everybody. Oh man, they're looking at their watches. Dave's show started 2 minutes ago. I gotta go punch in. I don't want to miss that intro. He's going to explain drama. Or perhaps not. So at any rate, March 14th is on Monday, and the folks at Raspberry Pi organization, Raspberry Pi Trading Company is their official name, they never tip their hat to what's up and coming. So we hold our collective breath. Dr. Evan Upton did an interview 2 days ago that was posted all over the place. And of course, the interviewer tried to extract any upcoming information from him. There was nothing. And it was just a nice conversation is the way it all shook out. They've interviewed each other before, so they kind of covered a lot of old ground. And after I read through most of it, I said, I didn't need to read through any of this. It's kind of a waste of time, but there you go. You know what? I get all geared up to do this stuff, and then I'm running on timers and things like that, and I always know there's something I'm missing, and they just found it. So it's cool. It's nothing that's going to cost you anything today. Hey, so fair warning, after 2 weeks of prep for today's show, you can expect absolutely nothing but the best in edutainment. Sorry, I heard somebody use that line on a radio show the other day. I said, I've got to steal that at least once. So now it's deleted from my notes. I will never do that one again, but I really like that one. Well, all right, let's start this thing off. Hi, welcome to Pi Day Friday. I am Dave Rush. I'm the senior instructor at Total Seminars, and this is an Ask Me Anything. We call it drama, and we do it every Friday, and it has a nice ring to it. So in addition to being senior instructor, I wear a lot of other hats. I work for Total Seminars. Total Seminars, for those of you who have not experienced our AMAs or drama in the past, you will know it by another name. You'll know it as the Mike Myers Company. That's the official name of the company that Mike Myers is the president of and senior author and so I do all kinds of goodies there. But my primary listed job is senior instructor. I haven't done a lot of instruction in the last 2 years, and looking forward to getting back out there as the world kind of opens up again. But I researched his books, and he let me write a chapter of the upcoming A+. We take an old chapter, we pull out the old information, add in new information, get it technical edited, and blah, blah, blah. So I got to do chapter 10, and it was very interesting and exciting and fun. And then 3 other departments said, Dave's not busy. Can I have him? So I'm doing other things now. Okay, well, I'll tell you one of them that I'm doing. We started to do this at the office and ran into a number of problems. We were short on people. The place that I was going to do this in was very loud because if any of you have played with our simulation tools, we call them total sims. There are 4 kinds of them, and one of them is a narrated exercise where we do something. For instance, how to set up a DHCP server in your router. So I write up a script, or somebody else writes up a script. It all depends on what we're doing, step by step, exactly what to do. And then we need a person to operate the computer and do those step by steps while another person narrates the process. I know it sounds like I should be able to do it myself. I just type this in while I'm talking. Doesn't happen. It's just not practical. And I'm fairly a good multitasker, but no soap. So I'm narrating this stuff, and we're short on people over at Total Seminars, and there's new projects that have just begun. So the one person that I had tagged to be my computer operator got sucked back into his original department. So that, and there's construction going on all around the perimeter of the building. And so recording in there, especially with the very good and sensitive mics that we use, became impossible. So I relocated the studio back here and hired the missus as computer operator. We did a little testing on that a couple of months ago to see if we could do it, and it worked out brilliantly. So that's my other big project for Total. And that's going to suck up a tremendous amount of time, but not so much that drama will suffer. We got stuff practically in the can already. I've had the last couple of weeks in the can ready to go. Next week, what is next week? Oh yeah, that one's 80% in the can. Cool. I'm working solo today. Andrew Hutz, my usual back channel guy and moderator and many other hats. He is off in the land where they worship the mouse. So I'm solo today. So forgive me if I'm a little bit slow and I have to go do some things by myself and go find things to post, and bear with me. The good news is today's project is short and sweet and simple. Should take us 10 or 15 minutes. If we did it just nonstop and I didn't do a class around it, it would take 3 minutes. You get the idea. Okay, do that, did that. Hey, if you're keeping track, and I don't know why anybody would, this is the 83rd drama in our series. And it is a presentation of Total Seminars. So what are we doing here? We get together once a week at 2 o'clock Central Time, Central Standard, Central Daylight's all the same for me. And we talk about CompTIA and studying for certifications, but we twist it a little bit by using Raspberry Pi computers to foster our studies. Sometimes we use them, we'll build up a server and say, here's, I don't know, for instance, we've taught you about port 20 and 21. We've set it to you. We've put it in words on a page. Well, let's see it. Let's fire up Wireshark. Let's create an FTP server that uses port 20 and 21, or maybe an FTP server that does active FTP and only uses one port. So we show you how you can do that yourself on a Raspberry Pi or other computers, and that's what it's about. So today's Raspberry Pi project. Last week, we used Raspberry Pi to crack Wi-Fi. That's peripherally related to some stuff you have to do in Security Plus. We talked about how to turn the network interface card into promiscuous mode. That's something we got to know for Network Plus. And we have played with Kali Linux in the past. It's been a better part of a year ago. And when we did it, I struggled for a couple of weeks to get a good working VNC server and client on it. We made it work, but it wasn't, to my mind, a very satisfactory solution. So as I was prepping last week's project, I learned, well, let's try it again. And to our great good fortune, there is a built-in VNC server right now. And oh, cool, just turn it on then and we'll VNC to it. No, turn it on, yeah. VNC to it, no. There's a twist and a complication to it, but I've got that all boiled down into today's project. Make it simple, make it reliable, make it fun. And that's where we're going with that. I don't need to go through all that junk. I go through it all the time. I'm not going to do it again. So it is an AMA. The best way to work that out is if you're here and watching live with me, post questions, post comments. You can communicate with each other using the @ symbol and start typing in somebody's YouTube name and you will get their attention. You won't see anything happen on your machine. You'll just see @Fred, but they'll see Fred in a big colorful box. And same thing then, if you want to get my attention and make sure I see a message, do an @ whoever I am. I think I'm David Rush today. So @David, just start typing that in and you'll find me and all the other folks in here who are Davids today, but I'll see your message and get to it. If you can't do that, you're not watching live, you have a long message, it's more than 200 characters or whatever. There are other ways to contact me and I encourage you to use them. Excuse me. And that is by email. So you can contact me by email at either my company address, Total Seminars. I am Dave Rush. I work for Total Seminars, and therefore I am Dave R at Total Sem. Or if you want, you can use my personal email address, drushtx at Yahoo. Don't use them both. They cross-link and bad things happen. Andrew Hutz isn't here today, but if you wanted to get in touch with him, he's Andrew Hutz, Andrew H. He works for Total Seminars, totalsem.com. Hey, have you figured out how to send an email to Mike Myers then? Michael Myers, in fact, let's be specific. Absolutely. And he loves to get your emails. He'll answer questions for you either via email or he'll bring them to his show and talk to them about them live. And you would find him at Michael M at totalsem.com. Other ways to communicate with us. I like this method. There is a Discord channel. You may have heard that in the past. Unofficial Discord channel. There we go. And we don't own it. We don't operate it. We are participants of it. All of those of us who are employees and contractors and whatever at Total Seminars. But it's open, but you have to use the invitation link in order to get there. And here it is. I'm going to put it up on screen. It's case sensitive. So, you know, you could pause your screen right now and write it all down if that's the case. I'm going to get the link here and I'm going to post it in the YouTube chat. And then you can just click that link and come on over, join us on Discord. We get to, it's 24 hours a day. There are bazillions and bazillions of things going on there. There's lots of forums and sub forums and things like that. And after the shows, one or more of us joins in with headsets and mics, and we just shoot the breeze with everybody in a little more casual method. If you have a complex question that isn't appropriate for this forum or doesn't fit this forum, there, I just posted that at, looks like 13 minutes after the hour. Come on over, talk to us there. And you know, you can always just post it in text and somebody, one of us, somebody else will answer it. There's a lot of really sharp people over there, many of whom have levels of expertise in areas that we don't have. And so some pretty good stuff. I have used experts on there to get information as well as give information. So, and maybe you could be one of those experts. You see a question on there, nobody's answering it, or you have expertise in there, answer it. So good stuff. Almost done with notes. Is there anything else I want to do in here? Oh yeah. One final thing in that I'm going to post, just because you folks are kind enough to join us on the AMAs and drama, we have a special discount available for you, which I'm going to post in the chat feed right now. There it goes. That's a good one. I like that. I've amused myself there. I just posted that at 15 minutes past the hour, and we'll bring this thing back up and share it. Yeah, I know this is the thing about not having a back channel today. I get to do all my own link posting. Adds a few moments to it all. Okay, that was the Discord link. So here is the weekly special, 50% off a bundle that you create. Don't get any of our pre-created bundles. You got to make your own bundle. There's some weird reasoning behind it. It's part of there's some weird reason behind it. Let's just go with that. So pick a topic that you're interested in studying. Maybe it's Network Plus. So what you do is you get the 2 Network Plus items. You get the Network Plus ebook, put that in your baskets, and then get the Network Plus Total Tester Practice Test. Put that in your basket. And then when you check out, use the code. The code changes every week. Dadgummit, I did not update this code. Oh, no. Next week's code is the one. Okay, we're good to go. Okay, what I posted in the post is wrong. So the checkout code is Bell. Alexander Graham Bell patented his telephone on Monday of this week. So I thought that was kind of a nice thing. And last week I had a different code. It was Watson, but it had nothing to do with the Watson from Bell. So I'm deleting the post that I just made, and I'm going to repost it. So this is, yeah, there we go. Okay, code is Bell this week. There we go, all fixed. Okay, so you can see we've got bundles that you can create for A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, Cybersecurity Analyst, Pen Test Plus, AWS Systems Architecture Associate. I'm starting to memorize that. I am so weak on AWS. Mike is really good. I'm not. All right, that's all that I wanted to put on there for now. We'll come up and do some more stuff later. All right, did that, all caught up there. In-depth questions, discount codes. All right, that's enough. Let's see what's going on with who's here, who's checked in, and who's not. Man, I haven't done that yet. There we go. Thank you for all the thumbs up. That doesn't help Total Seminars, doesn't help me, but it does help people find our seminars. So because we put the titles in them and all that stuff. So if somebody's looking for MGRE, they're going to find Mike's because it's got a lot of likes on it. So YouTube says this must be a good thing. And because we have that in the title. So when they do a YouTube search, and same thing is, if anybody looks for Raspberry Pi in YouTube, the more likes we get, the higher we appear in the search results. And, we like to appear high there because we think we've got good information, good products, and people would want to use our stuff to learn from. No, I'm not talking about selling stuff. I'm just talking about the AMA content. All right, well, let's go get caught up here. There's all kinds of stuff going on in the YouTube chat. Tullowit broke in early at an hour and a half plus before the show started. You're going to have to get up an hour earlier, Tullowit. Tullowit is in the United States, but he's in that odd corner where they don't participate in daylight saving time. I think I answered Andre de Goyert's questions. Both of those folks are moderators over on the Discord channel. And I posted in, and I wonder when we're moving time again. So we are moving time this Saturday night, Sunday morning, 2 a.m. It will suddenly be 3 a.m. Yeah, we spring forward. 26th of March. So you got a couple weeks before you got to do this. Wi-Fi is acting up again. Long live 10 meters of Cat 6. You bet. I have a few wireless things in the house because I have to, but basically my house is a wired proposition here. G'day, Steve. Steve G. They don't say g'day in Canada, mate. G'day. Wilson's here. Nice to see you, my friend. I wonder if you have received your prize yet. Waiting with bated breath in Sydney. Now, see, Alan should be saying g'day. Aye. Good on you. G'day. I love Oz. I've had wonderful times down there, many wonderful friends from there. Can't wait to get back. We're going to drag the kid down there next year when he's done with college. We'll go over and visit the Kiwis, and we'll visit. We did Sydney last time. Should we do Sydney again, or should we head over to Perth? Both? Good answer. Yeah, here we go. Chris Kent is here. Good afternoon. Another winner. Man, I look in here, almost everybody's a winner. We just don't have a ton of people watch it live. I get lots and lots of viewers after the show. Hey, folks, if you're watching this after the show, if you're watching this on the archive channel, you can't win. Join me live, 2:00 Central Time on this very same channel that you're watching this on, and you'll get a chance to win a Total Tester online practice test or a CompTIA voucher, any CompTIA voucher that CompTIA offers except cybersecurity analyst. And that's $400 US almost for some of those. It's $388 for Linux Plus. Ask me how I know that. Valerie Boss is back. Bakers. Buongiorno, Mr. G. Good to see you back, my friend. TD Washington is here from just up the road. Now you know, time stands still in paradise. I thought time waits for no man. Do we have to change that? Is it time waits for no person now? Drama, the specific mode of fiction represented in performance. You've been hanging out on Wiki, Andre? You have 2 thumbs. Well, that makes you normal. Most people have 2 thumbs and 8 other digits. I'm not sure if you're saying you're a little shy on the other ones, but yeah. Except for shop teachers. Oh, I got to tell you this story. So we did a project in November of last year, a few months ago, and it was creating a digital fireplace. We weren't going to, we did. We used a Raspberry Pi, got a long play video of a fire in a fireplace, and then mounted a fire in the fireplace, and then used the Raspberry Pi to display them. Some other cool things about it there. And I didn't like the grate that I have in front of the shield that I have in front of my fireplace. It just didn't let enough vision through, and the way it looked like I had a monitor in there. I wanted it to really look like a fireplace. So I started the hunt to find myself a good fireplace shield that met all my requirements. And I found one on local Craigslist. So I set up to meet the gentleman and go over there, and he's talkative, right? He wants to know about me and mine and find out areas we have in common. There was a lot of them. And he's a teacher. He's a STEM teacher, teaches code and some other stuff along those lines. And so we shot the breeze about that. And then he had to drop in the thing that got me in trouble a little bit. Nice guy. He takes this all in stride. He said, yeah, before I taught STEM, I used to teach shop, woodworking, metalworking, and things like that in the school. And I said, well, look, I don't believe you. I'm sorry. I shook your hand. You've got all your fingers. And he held up his other hand, and he was shy a pair of them. I said, well, I guess you really were a shop teacher. I was mortified. I was just mortified. But he said he knows that's a shop teacher standard joke, and it seems to fit the bill. Do I still fly or pilot? No, my medical is not current. It's one of those things that I just pop in and go get an aviation physical, and I haven't done that. I stopped getting aviation physicals 2 years ago, just before COVID, because I was ballooning and my blood pressure would have failed me, and that matters in the real world. I won't fly airlines again. I'm getting too old, both legally and figuratively, but I can still fly commercially, ferry aircraft, drag cargo around, stuff like that. Just never chose to do that. But there's a question that they always ask on applications to work for commercial. Have you ever failed a medical? And it's horrible if the answer to that is yes. So rather than risk it, I have just not renewed my medical for a long time. Now, as you know, because I've been selling this forever, I am dropping weight like mad. My blood pressure is dropping, and I can probably pass the medical right now. I'm going to give it another 6 months, shake down another 25 to 40 pounds, and then I will go re-up my medical and start flying again. So, you can't even fly a simulator without a valid medical. It's pretty amazing. I know a guy, I used to fly with him in one of the airlines I was at, who he ran into a medical problem, and rather than fail a medical, he faked it. He would take his medical that he got, whatever date, and we had to get new medicals every 6 months if you were captain. And so he would just photocopy it onto cardstock, having photoshopped a new date in it. And one day the airline had to call his doc to get some information. And the doc said, "Oh, we haven't seen him in 2.5, 3 years, something like that." And the fallout on that's a federal crime, folks. So we don't mess around with those folks. Yes, I have called Morgan Freeman to be my backup narrator. And then he dropped 14 F-bombs in 3 sentences. And I said, well, Morgan, maybe not so much. He's got the voice, but he just got a little trouble controlling it on a G-rated thing. Yes, they worship the mouse in the D place. As you may or not know this, but I'll share with you, Orlando in Florida, where the headquarters for mouse worshiping is an old Indian word, Native American word, whatever the right term is these days, that means help. There's a mouse in my swamp. Kevin Lopez is here. Good luck on, I saw your query this morning. So I see you're pursuing, what was it, CISA? One of the ones. Maybe it was pen test, but I thought you were already done with pen test. People talking to each other, that's cool. Alex, not to be confused with our other friend Alex, IX. Cisco, excuse me, hiccup, recently posted about use of Raspberry Pi for their CCIE exam prep. And there's a reason for that. Blah, blah, blah. VMware has created a virtual machine, a VMware virtual machine that runs on Raspberry Pi, and a lot of Cisco stuff runs in that. And so they're incorporating it. Yes, I love that stuff. Stone Anvil Studios, best name ever. Still waiting for you to come on to Discord because I want to talk about that. I want to learn about Stone Anvil. I've looked it up way back. You came on 1 billion years ago on one of Mike's shows, and I went, I think, to look up your YouTube channel, and I don't remember what I found there. Anyway, I've seen Raspberry Pis with 2 gigs and up to 8 gigs of RAM. Do you recommend 8 gigs, or is that overkill? 99 times out of 100, 8 gigs is overkill. I have a single 8 gig model. I've done some stuff with it, but what I do with it is far outside the envelope of the norm. Most people do not need an 8 gig. 4 is great, 2 is fine. The difference between 2 and 4 is $10. So I think it's really worth coughing up the 4. You get a lot more potential flexibility. You may never use that, but if you need it, it's there. But you're not going to need, like I said, 99 times out of 100, 8 gigs. Alan Owens talking to Stone Anvil. Dave Rush deleted his message at 2:14. Okay, other people answering their question. There you go. Alex says you can run, right. So if you're going to run VMware, 8 gigs is a useful thing because you got to run the native OS. Well, you got to run VMware, and then you've got to run images or VM instances. That's the right word. Inside there, so a little more. Yeah, okay, Alex, you're saying crypto mining for fun. Fun is right. There is not enough horsepower in a Raspberry Pi to crypto mine. Certainly not in a profitable sense and in a timely sense. And you're going to be cranking away for 30 years to generate one Bitcoin, that's probably way off. It would be a lot longer because one Bitcoin these days is worth 34,000, something like that. Yeah, and you can't get $1,000 a year mining with one Raspberry Pi. Not happening. Esteban's here. Esteban, I ran into your name a whole bunch of times yesterday. Oh yeah, because I was working on updating prize winners, and your name figures frequently in those files for reasons that I don't recall. Siegfried, sorry for being late. We just got home from the hospital. Oh, baby duty. Okay, I hope everything is okay. We'll check with you on Discord. Siegfried, everybody, is the owner right now of the unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel, UTSD. They're all winners. Hey, look at that. Somebody added me. I'm still waiting on mine too. Okay, yeah. I am hearing reports of delays, but I did a check. I made a list of everybody who said, where's mine? And as a one-time only thing, and said, if these have been sent out, please let me know. And if you have time, please resend them to the appropriate recipients. And if they haven't been sent out, let me know, and I will inform the people from whom I've received requests on status. They have sent out everything that I have sent to them. So if you didn't get it and you're missing it out, stuff in the last 2 weeks hasn't happened. Somebody's on vacation over there. But if you're 6 weeks out or longer and you haven't gotten it, it was sent. It was lost in your spam bucket. You gave them an email address that's incorrect. And I got to tell you, people typo everything. I had people typo their names, and I don't retype in anything that I see. If you type something into me, if you send me, submit an info set to me, I copy and paste from your email to the submission form. So there's no chance for me to miscorrect something. I got a message from a gent 2 weeks ago who goes by a spelling on YouTube. He has a Y in, or she has a Y in their name. But they provided 2 Ys back to back in their email. Now that's not for me. If I'm not here to call them back and say, hey, are you sure you spelled your name right? I did do that for one person who's a regular here, but that's because I know them personally and said, hey, so if you typo your email and that's what I got submitted, then that's where they sent it to, or you provided an email that you never go to because it's the email that you use when you work with CompTIA, but you never use that one on a daily basis. But everything has been sent out. So if yours is missing, you can't fix it. I can't intervene on your behalf. I have asked, they have responded, and if they've resent, they didn't say they did or didn't, but I asked to, and then they're nice people over there. I've asked them to resend and from that list, and I'm sure they did. So if you didn't get it, you're probably not gonna. Now, again, there are a couple people in some of the farther countries that do take up to 3 months because CompTIA has to work with Pearson VUE affiliates and say, hey, we're going to create a voucher that works in your country or for your whatever. And so that takes some coordination sometimes. And especially with COVID, sometimes the response on the far end takes a long time. But after 3 months, if you haven't gotten it, you're not going to get it. I have track of everybody who has requested 3 months. And what'll happen is after the 3 months, I'm going to send another list to CompTIA that says, please invalidate these vouchers, and then we will make it available for you to win another one. Okay, so that's the fix. I know I dragged that out. Where are we at? We're at 2:30. We're okay. William Jeske's here. Time and tide. Wait for no one. Yep. Okay. Esteban, 222. That's the answer to your question. And no, you cannot contact CompTIA directly. They do not want, I'm working with administrative levels high up, and they do not want to work with end users. They're working with us. So Esteban, in another month, if you don't have it, I will have your old one canceled, and we will make it possible for you to win again. People talking to each other. I'm passing 225 on messages. The only thing I want to use AD for on data center mains for users. I don't understand that sentence, but I understand you built a data center and, oh, okay, never mind, because you're talking to Valerie and I didn't follow that up. Swamp, mouse, yep. Help, there's a mouse in my swamp. Those of you who don't know, haven't been to Florida yet, Orlando is as much a swamp as Louisiana and South Houston. Jeremy Parker's here. Hello, peoples. Hey, Mr. David, can I get a short but informative answer to what NFTs are? Yes, NFTs, non-fungible tokens. A fungible device is, a fungible thing is very close to a tangible thing. Okay, it's real. A tangible thing is real. A fungible thing is, here's what fungible is. A fungible is something that is directly convertible to currency. Okay, and physical things work the best for that. A non-fungible thing is something that isn't directly convertible. I have an idea. I will give you this idea in exchange for something of equal value, currency, a Raspberry Pi, your dog, whatever. Now, if I can ascribe some kind of value to that idea and you agree on it, the idea is a non-fungible thing. So non-fungible tokens are whatever a token happens to be. In a lot of cases, it's a graphical image these days. It's an event. An event isn't fungible. LeBron James is selling great shots, right? He's a basketball player. Remember that shot I took on February 13th at the 6 p.m. game with the Rockets at time mark 2:17, whatever. I will sell you that. Give me $1,000 US and that shot is yours. Non-fungible. Is it a token? No, you just get a piece of paper that LeBron James signs that says the shot that I just described now belongs to Fred. So that's what an NFT is. Man, I got nobody on the back channel to tell people to stop pestering me on the back channel. Stand by. I got to deal with this. They got to know because they communicate with me all day, all the time. Come on. All right, well, there it goes. Are you serious? I got a meeting a half an hour after this. Stand by, typing in answer. All right, enough of that. That's crazy. I'm going to have to, I just saw somebody on the back channel, somebody's out of the office and they had an out of office thing. Maybe I can turn off notifications or out of offices for Teams. I never thought about doing that. That solves that problem. All right, moving on here. Okay, yeah, Andre's voted 231. So he sent me an okay. Jumping Jimmy. Siegfried. Okay, so Siegfried, if you send something to Total Seminars channel, it doesn't go to anybody when I'm doing a show. It's a dummy account when I'm doing the show, but I happen to see it, so we'll do this. I can't believe it just scrolled up. Super scroll. There we go. I honestly screwed up my own. You want to admit that, huh? I didn't use your name. Yes, Siegfried Vanderwee is one of the few people in the planet who has submitted a winning submission to me where he misspelled his own name. Mr. G, I didn't get it either, Dave. Yeah. See, here's the problem. I get people who say, I didn't get it. Send me another one. and they're gaming the system. I'm not accusing you guys of doing that, but it has absolutely happened in the past. And that's why we're going to have to cancel old ones and make it available for you to get new ones. But again, we keep our interactions with CompTIA really arm's length and seldom. The last thing we want is for them to say, you know what, we give these vouchers to Total Seminars to give away, and then we have to administer them on the background, and then they call and complain, this one's missing, that one's missing, and our workload is too high, it's not worth it, we're going to stop it. So as bad as this sounds, I'm willing to sacrifice a couple of you. Sorry you didn't get yours. But if three of you didn't get them, and 30 of you did get them, and CompTIA is going to keep giving us more, sorry, we'll try to get you fixed. But we don't want to kill the program. I don't want to kill the goose that laid the golden egg by injuring the goose. Know what I mean? Okay. 235, Esteban. Yeah, I didn't mean that. If I can get it. Okay. Yep, I have done it. So there we go. Good. Chris Kent, Dave Rush, put me down for that also. Anybody who has not received a voucher more than 6 weeks ago, that means you have to have won in January. If you won before the 3rd week of January, send me an email, daver@totalsem.com. And that's for vouchers, because I know we got all the Total Tester Online, and I'll make a fresh and complete list, because sometimes people haven't written me and complained, and I will take one more stab at with a list. You have 1 week to get me that information. I'm going to communicate with them with this information on Friday of next week. I would prefer you do it today. If you're watching me today, send it to me today. And no, I'm not going to write it down from here. I'm not going to remember. Put me down for that. It's a nice idea, but I'm working solo. I can't stop and make notes. I'm not going to read that out loud, William Jeske, but I absolutely love it at 237. Alan, is there a case for using NFS over Samba in a home network? No, they are competing technologies. NFS in a home network, you do NFS in a home network if you are practicing NFS, but it's just completely, hopelessly complex and impractical for the needs of a home network. Samba is the way to go. But as a learning experience, I want to, if you want to go into an interview and say, oh yeah, I run NFS at my house, they're going to do, and then they're going to say, this person is an Uber geek. They do NFS at the house, and they might hit you up on a question or two. That's got value. But as practical value goes, are you going to get anything out of it that you need in a household environment that you can't get with Samba? Nah. I still love the idea. I have never set up an NFS here at the house, and I have been chewing on that. So that's a note I will make. Let's go down here. NFS project. Okay, that note's done. Well, I know I sounded like a mean guy ranting. I apologize for that, but that's kind of what we're up against. I'm one person. This stuff adds 3 hours to my week, and I work 60-hour weeks. So when you add another 3 hours to that, and the risk, of course, that we run losing the benefit from CompTIA, you understand. A meeting half an hour after. Yeah, well, that the message that I just got, the person I was meeting with has canceled the meeting. Huzzah! So I offered to do it on the weekend when we were setting up this meeting, and he said, "Now let's just do it Friday after your show." It's okay, good. I am not reiterating my offer to do it on the weekend. My kid is in from college. And of course, he immediately grabbed my car at 8 o'clock this morning and said, "I'm going to see other friends on spring break." So I won't get to see him, but I do hope I get a chance to see him a little bit on the weekend. He can help me smoke that brisket I'm working on. You guys smell that? I got smoke on my shirt now because I'm smoking a brisket out there. You can't smell it? All right. You won in February. Okay, so keep waiting, Chris. There are people who are waiting 6 weeks to 3 months and then are getting them. Yep, keep waiting. Sorry, guys. I'm 2 questions away from the end of the list, and we'll go back into notes and get some other stuff going, get some contests going, get the project going. Lots of fun stuff to do. JM is here at 2:43. Hi, have you ever used Exploitable 2 to practice hacking web apps? If so, would you recommend it as a good learning tool? No, I am not an experienced hacker. I am not even a dabbler hacker other than our crack Wi-Fi last week. It's something that I definitely need to open my horizons to, but I'm going to recommend you kick off a message to Andrew. Just send him an email. Copy and paste your post here to Andrew and say, you posed this to Dave on Drama, and he is quite the hacker. Also, come over to Discord after work and post that question after work. Post that question in the, we got a general security sub forum. I just posted for the first time in that one the other day because the old one got deleted and then they recreated it at my request. And post that question there. There are people who are hackers and white hats, and I think there's probably a couple of black hats in there who probably have the experience you're asking about. And if not, they know people who do. So Jam, I apologize for that. So contact Andrew, send him an email. He's Andrew H, ANDREWH at totalsem.com. Christina's here. My favorite person whose name I mispronounced 3 times in one show. I'm so sorry about that. So I've got an odd question. A mouse, a keyboard, and a headphone cord are all Velcroed together. Why would a cat target just the headphone cord for destruction? I will tell you why. So you think I don't know the answer to this, but I do. At the factories in China where they make headphones or headphone cords, then they send them to the headphone company. That's right next to a restaurant, and supplies are running low, and so they pack the place with catnip, and catnip gets all over the headphone cord. There's still some residual catnip on there. I love to amuse myself, and I'm easily amused. Sure thing. 246, the Xerxes. Xerxes, I answered your question. I don't know if you that you posted on Discord the other day. I think you replied and indicated that you got the response, but if not, look that up. I do so much on there. I do too much. I apologize for that. I don't want to be a social media maven whose appearance is everywhere. But if asked, or if I'm fairly confident that I have the answer that's authoritative, I will kick in. How do I get rid of Raspbian? It won't let me have root access. Okay, the root account is disabled, number one. It can be enabled. How do you get rid of it? What I want you to do, Xerxes, is the Pi has root access. The account called Pi has root access. Now, if you're saying you can't use the Pi account, there is a fix for that. And what you have to do is reboot. It's slightly different in Raspberry Pi than it is on an x86 system. And I don't remember the name of the trick for Ras Pi, but basically what you have to do is you reboot into what's called single user mode. And you just do a Google on, I lost my Raspberry Pi password, and you'll find this technique, or I lost the root password for Debian or Ubuntu or any Debian distro. And they'll show you the trick. And again, it's different than x86 version, but once you know the name of the trick, then you can say, how do I do the trick on Raspberry Pi? But what you do, I don't have the step-by-step in front of me, but you boot into single user mode. As single user mode, you don't have to log in with an account. You're just sitting there at the keyboard and screen, and you have root powers. And then you go into the shadow file. and you delete the password, the hash of the password for the account that you've lost. And then when you reboot, then you reset the password using the password command, and you reboot, and you'll have a nice shiny new password. But the root account is disabled, and it stays disabled by default. I've never enabled it. I used, back when I was new at this, I thought I'll just enable the root. You don't need root. Nobody uses root, real root, in Raspbian. Well, there's no such thing as, so let's use the right term, right? It's Raspberry Pi OS. To answer your question directly, how do I get rid of Raspbian? You take the micro SD card out, you put it in an x86 machine and with a card reader, and you use the disk part utility, blast away all the partitions on there, and then you do a fresh reinstall, if that's really what you want to accomplish. But I can't imagine that is what you want to accomplish. You just want to be able to log in and do what you got to do. So you can find and fix, or you can fix a lost password of a supervisory account in any version of Linux, as long as it's got a shadow file for you to edit. Etsy shadow. Get with me on Discord if you like, or send me an email, and I will send you a link to the specific steps to do that if you can't find it. Reading messages here. Andre, you and I are on the same channel, except you're giving her a legitimate possible answer. My dog, who doesn't chew on anything, chewed up my earbuds. Yeah, there's, I mean, the rubber in there. You know, dogs love to chew on various rubber things, and the rubber ear cups probably have that scent that's attractive to them. I just got a message from one of our regulars on Discord here. Hey, if somebody's over on Discord, send a message to Nubian Queen and tell her we're doing the show. Come on over, catch up on the show, and otherwise I'll talk to her after the show. Ian talking to JM. I want to put Callie on it, but it can't. Makes noob. Okay. Simple. Ian, Xerxes, really, really simple. Here's what you do. Go look at last week's show. Project starts right about on the second hour, and it's going to show you how to install Kali Linux step by step on there. And what will happen is it'll overwrite your old Raspbian on there, and you will replace it completely with Kali. So you don't have to get rid of it. That will happen if you just follow the steps that I gave in the show last week. You can also download the step-by-step process on paper in a document if you go to my server and download last week's archives. The server is up and running right now. It's got all the archives in it. I'll leave it running all weekend. It's pi-r square, all the words, pi, the letter r, square.zapto.org. Just go there and then go to the link on the first page that says go to downloads, and then last week's show is the next to the last week's download. I didn't post that. Let me get that posted here right now. So for any of the documents that I created, used, the outlines, the step-by-step procedures, any of that stuff that I create, you can have, and just get it at my server. I only run the server on weekends, but I will open it up for you anytime you want. Send me an email or let me know on Discord. Just posted that at 53 minutes past the hour, the link to pi-r square, and you'll have all my notes and all my all-my's. That is some good iced tea today. Extra lemon in it. Mrs., would you care to check the beast? Use the that bent iron rebar for opening up the firebox, because that handle is roasting hot. All right, does that get me caught up on everybody? This is yes, yes. Janice Patel is here. I have been well. How about you? Thank you for asking. Linux may not find the pack. Okay, yeah, we got to solve that problem. Sunny Mango's here. Nice to see you guys. Sunny Mango, one person passed Sec Plus, the other one didn't. I was going to reattempt. Waiting breathlessly for the update on that. And if it didn't go well, get with me and or Mike, and we'll see if we can help you out some. From a security perspective, asks JM at 253, is it bad to bridge the Ethernet on the VMs that I use to do labs? No more or less than having any other computer that's running bare metal operating system that's in your VM. So no. "99% of the time, my VMs are using bridge mode." There are reasons not to, especially if you're going to use an IP address that's not compatible with your live network. Using bridge mode would not be appropriate. For that, you might want to look at NAT. If you need more help with anything, I mean, okay, you're welcome. Welcome. Also, thank you for the link on. Okay, that was, yeah, I knew I had something good. I hope those were helpful. The name that you mentioned didn't seem to match the name of any of the three that I saw on our list. But just sent the missus out to work the brisket. All right, I'm caught up on questions here. Let me go see what's on notes, and then we'll do something fun. Probably a contest. All right, so today, I always do this little spiel here that says, boy, I burn a lot of time. I got to get caught up. Do you have to have a Raspberry Pi to do today's project? What was the temp? Okay, good. And oftentimes you can use any distro, but today, Kali has a particular problem with its version that runs on Raspberry Pi when it comes to doing VNC. So we are doing a Raspberry Pi version of Kali only fix. Everything else works great. All their utilities, all their hacking and pen testing utilities and that, but their VNC server has an issue. And so I want to show you how to overcome that issue. So this is a Raspberry Pi specific project today. If you try and do what we're doing on any other machine that you're running Kali on, you don't have to, it works. It works out of the box. Did that. After this week, I'm done with Kali for probably another year. We'll go do other cool things next week. There is no tutorial for today's project. This is information that I've had to gather all over the web, and it's not well documented. I think probably I'm going to set up a web server on Amazon or someplace else where I can post stuff that can stay up 24 hours a day and is safe and reliable. And if it gets hacked, I don't care. It won't hurt my local network. And I will include things like that. Did it. Okay, news, tricks, traps, techniques of the week. Today's Friday 11th. It's 3 days from Pi Day, 3/14. Open Pi group does something fun. I love March. It's got a ton of my favorite dates. We already did March 4th, the only day of the year that's a command. March 14th, Pi Day. March 17th, big in the US, St. Patrick's Day. Not nearly as big as its origin in Ireland, but I was in England one time on St. Patty's Day and having a meal down in Soho, fish and chips. And it was a crowded place. And it was one of those things where, you know, if there's no room and there's no table for you to sit at, you just go sit at somebody else's table. And a lovely gent from Ireland joined us. Oh, you're Americans. And okay, so we shot the breeze. And then, you know, we had to ask what their take on St. Patrick's Day is. And he pretty much scratched his head. He said, yeah, I understand it. We don't make a big deal of it in Ireland, and we don't understand why you Yanks do, especially the folks in Boston. But there you go. We got April 1st coming up, and we're doing a show on April 1st. I talked about the time change thing already. So Monday, Mike's show, if you don't change your clocks this weekend, Mike's show will be an hour earlier, as will mine. My Square is alive, did that. All right, that's all caught up. There was lots of new, interesting Linux news. I'm not going to read it to you. Sometimes it's good to share. Sometimes you can find it on your own if you care. So let's dive into a contest. I'm feeling like giving away a Total Tester Online contest. If you have won Total Tester Online in the past, let's say no more than 2 times, you can win again. And what I did last month is I picked a topic out of A+, and I did contest questions based on that topic. Well, I'm doing that again this month. This month's topic is ports and protocols from the objectives for Core 1, A+ 220-1001. I got notes here that says 1002, whichever one covers ports and protocols. I thought it was 1. And so I'm going to ask you a question, and I don't have multiple choice answers on this one. You're going to type in the appropriate response or responses. You get 1 submission. You get to put in your answer 1 time. Spelling doesn't count, but it's got to be close enough that I understand what you mean, right? So if what did we do last week? I don't remember. Oh, well. At the end of this, let me get my thing ready. I'm going to post how the winner is going to claim their prize. And I need you to copy and paste this and put in exactly what it says. I get people who think they hear it pretty well and they send me most of the info or some of the info. And when I get that, I don't send back, here's the thing you missed, send me this. I send back the message that simply says incomplete. Please resubmit your entry with all the information I need. So all the information is going to be right here in the chat channel, and I will post it right after we do the contest. How's that? All right. So here's the contest in 220. Oh yeah, it is 220-102. So I've got a little fix to do in another place. Objective 2.1, compare and contrast. I have contract written down. TCP and UDP ports, protocols, and their purposes. So let me throw up the question. You're going to put your answer. Your answer is going to have 2 answers in it today. It's going to be the name or the initials of a protocol, and then the port number or numbers that protocol is using. So let me get the question up so you'll be able to see it. That's a good one to do that. Okay, you're up. I know it's not sharing yet. Then we do this and we do this and we share. All right, so here's the question today. You're going to win access to 90 days worth of Total Tester Online. That's our practice test product. Looks and acts identical to CompTIA real test, and it's more customizable too. So the question is 2 answers or 2 blanks to fill in. The blank protocol, that's a name or its initials, runs on UDP port number blank. It's used to organize and to network hosts and IP addresses to make it easy to search for and resolve IP addresses based on friendly names. That's the key here. Which protocol and what port number does it use to resolve IP addresses based on a friendly name? I'll leave that up and I'm going to look at answers as they start spewing it. This one's an easy one. We're only the 2nd week into the month. It'll get a little more challenging next week, and by the end of the month, it's going to be darn challenging, but you have all the information you need. I'm going to give you the link to where you can find out what protocols I'm going to be talking about. Okay, I am looking through for answers. I've super scrolled. It's busy. Here we go. Now, if you see somebody has the right answer, and so you don't want to put yours up, because they get to me in different orders than they get to you. By the way, your right answer will always appear first for you. It's what turns up on my screen and in order that works for me. Okay, I'm looking over answers. Stand by. And making some notes in my notesy stuff. Some of you are humorous. Mr. G, you put in a protocol. but you did not put in a number. Vegas Brent passed because Vegas Brent won last week. Hey, by the way, I got your note about the change, no impact there. Okay, I don't know if I responded to you, but you didn't game the system or anything like that. You were absolutely fine. You hadn't won one in that category yet, so everything is absolutely fine. You are now Mohand, but okay, so Mr. G finally put in a port number too. Michael Asbury is checking in. Lots of people are filling in now. I'm about ready to wind this up. About 10 more seconds as I read. Wow. Everybody have put in the same one. What would you say if I said you're all wrong? I hope you'd say I'm an idiot because everybody was right. See, I told you it was an easy one this week. Is there anybody who put in a wrong one? If not, the only question in your mind is whose name I see first, right? Valerie Boss, you are exactly right. You were the first. You had the right answer. You are the winner. Congratulations. You've won 90 days access to a total tester. I am posting. I don't know why I had Valerie Voss in my head all this time that I've known you, relatively short time. I thought you were Valerie Voss with a V, but okay. So I posted that and let's put this up, the answer sheet, and talk about, there wasn't any alternatives. So DNS, the domain naming system, runs on UDP port 53. There are ways to make it run on TCP, but by default, it's a UDP port 53. Use organized network resources into hierarchical structure. That's what DNS does. And then we map IP addresses to domain names, and then we can perform searches to resolve that information. All right, congratulations, you were all right. You are all becoming DNS gurus. I will never ask another DNS question. Oh, I got to tell you, so I'm working the back channel for Mike on Wednesday, and he says, I'm gonna make up a question. It's gonna be an easy port and protocol question. And I said to myself, don't do the one that I've already documented in all my notes to do on the Friday show. And sure enough, he did. He did an RDP question. So I had to rewrite 4 different documents that I keep these things documented in and come up with a new question. And so I said, look, if Mike chose to do an easy one and I had chosen to do an easy one, I'll stick with easy, but later. Next week, a little more challenging. All right, let me go back here and see if I missed anything. A couple of people poked in when I wasn't looking. In between Sec Plus and Site. Okay. Passing 258. Jason Helms is here. Long time no see, Jason. Good to see you back. Haven't seen you on Discord in a while either. You must be working hard over there. I love your job. You've got some really cool stuff, and congratulations. But we knew Jason. He was effectively unemployed and knew nothing about computers. He couldn't turn one on. He couldn't recognize one in a store window. Now he designs them. March 10th is Mario Day. I will add that to my list. I love that. I started playing Mario a little bit ago when I set up my RetroPie a couple of months ago. You're like Norm, Jason. Everybody's Jason in the house. Besides Packet Tracer, are there any other free software you recommend practice for Cisco CCNA? Sure, Wireshark. Cisco expects you to know Packet Tracer. You have to know Packet Tracer and commands. So if you're pursuing CCNA, you got to know Packet Tracer. But it's not the only game in town, and there are other ways to learn ports and protocols and packet structure and all that stuff. And Wireshark is a great way to go on that. Okay. Just reading questions to each other. 443. I know I will never have a question where the answer is 443 because so many people just throw that up as their humor guess of the day. that I'm stuck. I actually considered doing an 80 and 443 question. I said, nah, everybody throws out 443 already, and I'll have to sort the wheat from the chaff. So I will not do a 443. Yeah, you get to win the brisket. This is the first brisket I've ever done that's not a full two-part brisket, the flat and the decal. I'm just doing a flat because the price of beef is just skyrocketed, and I cannot bring myself to purchase a full one. So I got a flat only, still unbearably expensive. But I'll tell you what, it takes me 18 hours to smoke a full brisket. This takes me 5 hours plus 2 hours to rest. So we can start it on the same day and eat dinner with it instead of having, be up in the middle of the night or and stoking the fire and all that. I don't want to win the brisket. Okay, that was all the stuff before all the guesses started coming in. Now I'm looking at stuff after the guesses. They weren't guesses. You guys were all, you knew it. Got to know ports, Xerxes. That was the way I wanted to do. What I want you to know about ports, everything. But what is useful for you is we created a document that has all the ports and protocols that you need to know for each of the trifecta classes. I'm going to have to be updating that one in short order after April 20th. Yeah, with all the stuff from the new A+ class. But download this. I mean, it's not the best cheat sheet in the world, but it's a definite starting place. Stand by, I'm finding it in my document. I can't say, hey, Andrew, the ports and protocols link. Do that. Well, look, let me tell you the easy way to get to it while I look for it. Just go to totalseminars.com/cool-tools, one word. And the first link on that page is our ports and protocols document. All the ports and all the protocols organized by exam number. So that's really useful. And what's really cool is you can also do comparing and contrasting. Oh, these two are in the, I got to know them for both this class and for that class. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong document. What are you doing there? No wonder I'll never find it. The other way to get it is the link that I'm posting in the chat right now at time mark 12 minutes past the hour. That's where the link on Cool Tools, totalseminars.com/cool-tools, takes you to this PDF. Okay, what do I need off of here? I got to get this highlighted and ready to go. Voucher winner for when that comes up. All right, anything else that I need to catch up here on questions? Because if not, we're going to start a project. Yeah, YouTube, they have so many CDNs, content delivery networks, that you never know what's going to show up when, where, and how. Ping is here. Welcome back, Ping. Haven't seen you in a little while. Latency is real. Okay, so Valerie, I posted the what you need to do at 3:06. Send that to me today. Today's Friday. I submit on Friday as soon as I get the 2 winners in today, if you'd be so kind. Thank you. And congratulations. Andre, did you see your notes, David Rush? I don't know. DNS makes me cry. I'm having trouble with it. You have a pie hole running? Get a pie hole running, Siegfried. You'll get more and more comfortable with DNS every day, especially as you do setups and experiments with it. Jam, is it possible to do tunneling with DNS? Similar to how you can do FTP or SSH tunneling through 443. No, you can't tunnel. You could theoretically tunnel DNS through SSH, but both sides have to have the configuration to pull that off, and that's not something anybody does. The thing to do that is not to tunnel for security. You use DOH or TLS over H. It's DNS over HTTP or DNS over TLS, and there's some other ones. And then you have to pick a DNS provider that supports that. Cloudflare 1.1.1.1. They are fully secure. So set that one up. Now you've also got to do some stuff on your end to set that up. I posted an article on Discord about the latest stuff that Cloudflare is doing. I never did a DOH, but guess what? On the list, DOH, TLS, DNS. All right, we have a project on the woodpile. Sorry, gotta make sure I didn't lose that. No, I didn't. All right. My keyboard and battery died while typing. The dog ate my homework. My pleasure, Jason. Always good to see you, my friend. I've never eaten a brisket before. I don't know how to answer that. Beef is expensive all over the world, Xerxes. You know, I'm just looking at you. I always had a pronunciation in my mind. Sometimes I then go back and read and see if I was right. And yeah, I'm good with Xerxes. Okay. Honestly, cooking them separately is better anyways. You know, potato, potato. Costco sells the best beef. There's a sentence that I've never heard. I'm sure their beef is fine. The best? For the best, I go to a specialty butcher and hemorrhage massively. Rainbow Jesse, sorry you're late. It's okay. I didn't take attendance yet. I don't take attendance until 5 minutes before the show ends. So you're good to go. All right. Posted that link at 3:12 for the ports and protocols document we've created. Xerxes, I've looked at it before at 3:13. I've already passed A+, Net Plus, and Sec Plus, but I have an issue remembering numbers. Just ask my wife about her anniversary. I used to carry a briefcase when I was first married, and I changed the combination locks on my briefcase so that I would use it for years and get it committed to memory that way. Now we've been married so long, happy anniversary. Andre, I know ports. Shipple, thank you very much. CDG. Valerie, yep, I sent the email. All right, way to go. Thank you, Valerie. That was quick. Absolutely. Pi-hole can be a full-fledged resolving DNS server, you bet, as well as a recursive searcher. Absolutely. Smoke brisket, absolutely. 8 to 10 at 200. I usually do 225 for 14 and then 2 hours rest when I do a full-size brisket. Costco, California, better than most places for near prime. Near prime. That's the scariest term I have ever heard of describing beef. Near prime. It's almost really good. Hey, let's do a project. You feeling like one? I'm feeling like one. It's 20 after, 10, 15 minutes. We'll do this in short order. That is so weird. I turn off notification of the Discord servers before I start the show, so my computer doesn't wonk. But apparently that notification doesn't count for my apps. I get notifications on my phone Discord app. Oh, well. All right, so today's project, we started playing around with Kali last week so we could do Wi-Fi cracking, and I encountered the idea that I wanted to take another stab at VNC, and they got a built-in VNC server. This will be great. I'll just use that one. And then when I ran the client, it said not happening. And so I started doing a whole bunch of research and found out there's a way. But it's not simple. It's simple to do, but it's not simple to find. And so I said, well, that's what I do. I gather information that people can't do easily, and I turn it into one easily digestible brisket that you can just chew right into like butter. So no tutorial for this. This is all from information that I've collected. Get my document from pirsquare.zapto.org, and you will have everything that you need. And I've already set my server up to do this. So here's the problem. Kali comes with a built-in VNC server called Tiger VNC. It's a very popular VNC product. Now, remember, when you're doing VNC, virtual network communication isn't the right word, virtual network, something like that. Basically, you're taking over the screen and keyboard of your device with another computer. That's VNC. And so if I don't have a monitor hooked up and I want to use the graphical interface, I will have set it up to do VNC, and then I can use a VNC client on my Windows machine or my Mac or another Linux machine. And since it's Tiger VNC, it works best if you use the Tiger VNC client to do that. But I discovered when I loaded the Tiger VNC client here on my Windows machine, I tried a whole bunch of things before I realized that there was a real problem. I thought I was just using it wrong or something like that. And I encountered 3 different symptoms from when I tried to run it. One is I got nothing but gray screen. It was just a gray window on my Windows machine, and I couldn't click on anything. I couldn't see anything. That's no good. So again, not knowing that there exists a fix, I went over and tried some things on my Kali box. And then when I tried the client again, I got black screen, just a black window. Doesn't work, doesn't do anything. Tried some more stuff on the Kali block, and I couldn't even get it to connect. So, okay, I abandoned that. And then I started researching and said, there is a way that solves all of these problems. Now, here's the deal with this. This Tiger VNC absolutely works perfectly in Kali, but only when you run distros of Kali that are designed to run on x86 machines. They use a different video subsystem or a graphical subsystem than the one that they chose to use for Raspberry Pi. Now that means there's 3 solutions. One, they could reconfigure the Kali image to use a graphical interface, a desktop that works with Tiger VNC, or they didn't even need, let's just go with that. Or they could change the configuration files in the same way that we're going to do it. Seems really simple. Seems like something they should do and could do literally in minutes, but they don't. That's not their solution at the moment. Their solution at the moment is it doesn't work unless you guys figure it out online and post to each other. They could change their configuration files. They could change their GUI, or we could completely change out the graphical interface from whatever it is right now. I'm not sure, but we'd have to change it to X Windows. Well, we're going to do a 4th technique. We're going to create an X Windows environment that works just for VNC, but everything else will still be left with the native graphical. So you'll never know when you get done that we've got some magic going on in the background. Again, all this is documented. You can follow along with me step by step here. It's all documented in PyR², including the contents of the file that you're going to have to change to. So first of all, let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to run the VNC client. I got the VNC server running on my Kali machine already. Yeah, really? Yeah, it disappeared out of my hunt list. I know where it is. Fine, I'll go to where it is. Usually I just hit the start menu and I start typing in the name of the program, the client, and it very happily goes over there, but it's not doing that today. So, okay. There it is. All right, so I'm running it. I'll share with you in a second. There we go. Now we share. Oh, I got to put the password in. I want to show this password and this connection thing to you, but I'm afraid the share screen, I didn't test that, will gag out. So that's all right. I can show this to you this way. Share screen. There it is. All right, so this is the Tiger VNC client talking to the Tiger VNC server on my Kali box over there somewhere. So looks and acts just like I've got the real monitor and all the graphics, all the programs, all the mouse works, all the keyboard works, everything works great. To get out of this one, it's not like the real VNC client that we use for Raspberry Pi that's got an exiter. You just close the window. All right, to set this up, you do it all with the command line. Let me go bring my notes back up. And so I'm going to establish an SSH connection to it. Now to do that, use your favorite SSH client. You can use terminal in your Mac machine. You can use SSH on a Linux machine. You can use SSH, the program in Windows, or I use the old standby. I like PuTTY. And then you've got to know the IP address. Of course, you can also do this with the mouse and keyboard and monitor directly connected. Once you set up VNC, you won't need that anymore. SSH is already running in Kali by default. So all you have to know is either the name of your server, Kali-Raspberry Pi.local, what a pain, or learn the IP address. We've done that many, many times. You can use Angry IP Scanner, Advanced IP Scanner, Nmap, something like that. And that'll give you the IP address. And then you fire up your SSH client, put the IP address in. I know you can't see what I'm doing here, but I'll share it with you as I go. 192.168.1.106. I'm doing an SSH connection in PuTTY. I click open. I connect, I log in. The default account name on a Kali distro is Kali, K-A-L-I, and the default password, amazingly, is Kali, K-A-L-I. All right, I'm in. Now let me share that with you. Okay, got everything going at the same time. We'll move that over there. So here's what you've got to do. There's a file that exists under your home folder. Let's see what folder we're in right now, PWD, and I'm in home Kali. Now, if I just do an LS, blue entries are folders, and I don't see the folder that I want. So let me do this, LS space minus LA. And now I can see hidden folders and hidden files. If they start with a decimal point, a dot, then they're a folder. And right here is the folder that we need to get into. So I'm going to CD space. I'm learning this stupid thing, but LS minus LA, just so you can see it. So I'm going to CD and use the arrow key on here, not the tab key, to go to end of line. CD.VNC. And let's take a look at what's in there. I don't need the LA on this one. So there's 3 files in here. There's a password file, there's an X startup file, and by default, there is not an X startup.back because our process says make a backup of the X startup file by typing in the command cp X startup to X startup.back. Now, if I do that right now, I'm going to overwrite my back file with my updated X startup, and that'll mess everything up. So that's no good. But let me show you what's in that old file here. We're just going to take a look at its contents. Cat X startup dot back. So this is the default screen that controls how VNC talks to a client. It's the default configuration file. And let me show you what you're going to create instead. I'm just going to cat X startup. And can I show you this whole thing? Yeah. they're notably different, right? This first one starts with a call to the bin shell, to the bash shell here too. And then we start right away with all new commands, and we don't keep any of the old commands. So that's why we make a backup of this one if we ever want to go back to it or use it from another kind of machine. So what you need to do is you need to get the contents of this stuff and overwrite the original X startup file, because you still got the X startup back file you just created. And where am I going to get those contents, Dave? I'm glad you asked that. They're in my download notes that you can get from pirsquare.zapto.org. Just download this week's episode and you'll see them in the main outline. And I also have it set as a dedicated file, I think. Now I think I just copied that stuff this morning and I don't remember selecting that. So now pull it out of the my outline there and just do a search on demo the following and go into here. So what do we got here? What do we, I'm not going to get into all these commands. All you got to do is make these contents in your X startup file and then save the file, close it, and you're done. Let's see, that's there. Yeah, that's there. That's there. Home, solid gray, iconic. Yeah, save the file. So we're done. We've updated the configuration file. So now we're going to clear. And I've already got this running one time, so you're not going to be able to see everything, but now you have to activate your VNC server. It's running, but it's not activated. So you're going to type in the command VNC server. You don't have to do this with sudo space colon and then a number. It's got to be a unique number. It can be any number you want. And I'll explain why in a moment. So I'm going to say VNC number 1. Now, the first time you're going to run this, the system is going to stop and it's going to prompt you to set a VNC password. It's not going to be the password of any user account or anything like that. So I set mine as one word, Cali Cali. You can set it for anything you want, doesn't matter. So I've entered on this, it prompted me for the password and I'm done. Then it's going to prompt you for a read-only password. Hey, do you want other people to be able to come and watch on VNC, but not be able to type in anything or mouse anything in? And you have an option on that one. You can say, yes, I want to do this and give it a different password, or you can say, no, I don't want watchers. I'll either let people in manually. But here's the problem with what I've got here. When you run VNC server followed by a number, you get space, doesn't matter what this number is, for one VNC connection. Okay, one person can use their VNC client and connect to your Kali box. And if another one tries to do it while you're doing it, it's not going to work. They're going to get denied connection. They have to wait until you're done playing VNC and then they can do that. Well, we don't always want that. Sometimes I need multiple people to be able to connect simultaneously with VNC. That's where this number comes in. What we're doing here is we're setting up a session number. Could be 1, could be 100, could be 1,000, could be whatever number you want. So when you use the VNC client, it's going to say, what's the IP address of the computer running a VNC server and what's the connection number that you want to connect to? So when I run my client, I'm going to say 192.168.1.106:1. And if I want somebody else to be able to run this thing, I'm going to have to run another instance :2. Now I got 2 VNC servers running and 2 people can connect simultaneously. One will use the IP address :1 and one will use IP address :2. So let me close you out of here. And I'm going to show you everything on how the client works. Unshare this. It's a little bit cumbersome when, what are you doing there? Okay. So let me bring up the client and I'm going to share it with you. And it's probably going to break connection as I go through the process, but for each new process, I'll break up a new one or bring up a new one. Boy, you are just something. Run. There you go. Okay, so let me share this screen with you. So this is what I see when I run. Oh, and I've got a link on where to download the Tiger VNC client. I'll throw that up in just a second. If Andrew were here, he would do that in the background for me. Share. Come on, hit the mouse button. There you go. So this is the box that you see when you run the VNC client. There's all kinds of options and things like that here. You can load and save parameter files, what you want to do. But basically the simple connect says, here's the IP address, colon, and the session number. And then you click connect. Okay, now I've lost the share with you. So let me show you what happens when you click connect. Share it. Select that. This box pops up next. And here's where you get prompted for the password that you set the first time you ran VNC server. So I set my password to Kali, K-A-L-I, K-A-L-I. Okay. And I lost the connection again, which we expected. But that's okay, because the result now is what I showed you when we started the process here. My mouse clicker is filthy. It's not letting me click. There we go. And so those are the three things you see when you run the client: the connection box, the password box, and then the actual connection. And when you're all done, you just hit the X here and you're done. So there's only two other things that you need to know about. One of them, man, did I make that? Is the link for where to get the client. I made that. I know that I did. So stand by. Let me bring that up for you. Ports and protocols. There we go. The Tiger VNC viewer PDF. Now we share that. And I will also. No, I don't want to do that. Block, cancel. I know you can't see anything. Stand by. There we go. All right, I'm putting the link for where to download the client from at time mark about 37 in the chat. Just did it. And now I'm going to throw that up on screen right quick. So to get the viewer, you're going to go to sourceforge.net/projects/TigerVNC. There's going to be a bunch of stuff in there. And assuming you're going to run your client from a Windows machine, you'll download this one, the VNC viewer 64.1 blah-blah-blah.exe. I'm running Windows 64. But they have clients for Linux boxes and other things in there. Get the client, they've got it for Mac machine. Get the client that's appropriate for your machine. And then what's really cool is you don't have to install it. It's a run program. So all you do is put it in your download folder, excuse me, hiccups, and then double click it. And it runs just like the way I demonstrated it. All right, so that's the next to the last step. The final step that you need to do, and that I'm not going to do today because I got a class that I'm planning, a project I'm planning on doing this, is you want to automate that VNC service so that it happens every time your Kali box lines up. And there are a bunch of different ways to automate startup procedures. One of them is a file called rc.local, which Raspberry Pi is like. But there's also programs like System Control, sysctl, and some others. So I'm going to do a project on that one day, and I'll let you look that up. Just do a Google search on automatic launch Tiger VNC in Kali, and you'll find many of the ways to do that. It's a really simple thing to do. And it's one of those things that once you do one time, you won't have to do it again. You can do it with an SSH terminal session. You can do it with VNC. Okay, Pull back on these. So would I miss anything in here? No, final step automatically do that. All right, so that completes it. That's the project. It was a simple, easy project. The reality of it is counting the time that you have to download. If you just follow these step by step, copy and paste the contents of the X startup file into it. Make sure you overwrite all the old stuff. Bam, you're done in 5 minutes. The research doesn't take that long. I guarantee it took me the better part of a day to come up with the research of all that, but there it goes. All right, let me check notes here, and then we're going to do the CompTIA voucher contest. Yahoo! All right, I left off. Oh, wow. Yeah, nothing new popped up there. Siegfried, have ever made a pine hole into a DNS server? Yeah, we did that as part of the as one of our projects. Siegfried, take a look at the old archives. Ask me about that. I'll get you the link on Discord. Christina, we had to stop using the smoker when the neighbor tossed water on it and totally ruined the meat. Oh my gosh. This is Texas. Several things would have happened before the cops got called to pick up the bodies. It's prime, but not labeled as such. Not buying that. Sorry, not buying it. Can't imagine prime beef that's not like a USDA is the people who label it. Their inspectors do. So it ain't. VNC remote desktop. They are effectively the same. They are different. VNC is a protocol that runs on port 5900. RDP is a Microsoft proprietary protocol that runs on port 3389. So in general, they accomplish many of the same things, but they are not the same thing. So at this level that we talk here, accuracy in language matters. Inaccuracy is okay when we're trying to teach a concept. But once we get past the concept, VNC is VNC, RDP is RDP, and they have similarities. Reading messages, getting to the end. I need to get me a voucher. I haven't won one yet. 3 chances next week, my friend. Is that right? Ralphs and Kroger are the same? I didn't know they merged. Virtual network computing. Thank you very much, Alan. All right, that finishes that. Then I'm caught up on questions at 3:41. So let's do a contest. This is going to be a contest for a CompTIA voucher. Any CompTIA voucher for any exam they have, except for CYSA, anywhere in the world that CompTIA exams are conducted. So this could be a very valuable thing for you, but even if not, right? If you're taking ITF Plus, which I think is like $178 or something, that's still pretty valuable. And that's about their least expensive out there. As I said at the beginning of the show, no telling how long it's going to take for it to get to you. But once I submit them, I get a confirmation that it was submitted, and then it's hands off. So don't write me in 2 weeks, especially don't write me in a week. People do that. Where's my voucher? I've given it to CompTIA. CompTIA, it's out of my hands. Now, if you won a voucher more than 2 months ago, 3rd week of January, and you haven't gotten it yet, I want an email from you in the next 7 days, and I will make one singular communication about anybody who I missed in that last communication that I did with them, and see if they can look into it. But they have told me that every voucher that I have sent them, voucher submission that I have sent to them up until the last 2 weeks, have been responded to and sent out. So if you didn't get yours, it's because you didn't get it. They copy and paste email addresses and names just like I do. All right, contest is going to be a random number generation contest, so you don't have to know anything about computers to participate in this contest. The general rule, if you've won before, it's possible that you could win again. However, we lean toward people who have not won before. You may submit 3 answers If you do something like Ulysses did last week and you submit 40 of them, I'm going to do a 10-minute ban on you because it just clutters up my screen and I can't find the right stuff. So you can submit 3 guesses to the number in my range, and they must be on separate lines. I don't want to see 1, 2, 3 on a line. I want to see 1 as an entry and 2 as an entry and 3 as an entry. And closest to, let me see what the number is, closest to without going over today will be our winner. I am the ultimate arbitrator of the winner. Don't like my answer? Don't play. I don't want to be harsh about it. Sorry. So I got my list up ready to look into. And okay, I don't have Andrew helping me figure this out either. So I apologize for that. It's going to take me a couple of minutes to get you figured out. We got 15 minutes of showtime left. We'll have this all done in 6 to 7 minutes, hopefully less. Checking to make sure I didn't miss anything else here. When I'm done, I will post the how to submit. Let's see if I've got that up and ready to go. Nope, because I did other things there. And again, what I want you to do is copy and paste, dear winner, the information that I put here, and then follow the instructions exactly and precisely so that we can do this one time and I don't have to send you a message that says, not complete, try again. Make sure you got the right fields because I'm not going to spoon feed it to you. We're all adults here and you know how to follow simple directions. These are simple. Show notes, got to go over here and get my how to claim your winnings. Okay, voucher winner, that's right here. This goes here. I know, I'm sorry I'm dragging this out, but this is what happens sometime when I work solo. All right, that's ready to go. Anything else I'm missing here? Okay, so my pseudo random number generator that I use is at randomnumbergenerator.com. It's a very rare one, by the way. It's not a secure site. It's HTTP, not HTTPS. The range that I used today was 2,000 through 2,500. Boy, I totally blew that in my notes. Sorry, that's not true. That is not true. My notes are correct here. Do not make your guess. Any guess that you made up until now doesn't count. The range today is between 500 and 1,000. Closest to without going over wins. All right, we are checking guessers. You don't have to actually post 3 times pass. That doesn't clutter up my screen and make things hard to find. Thank you, multiple passers, you people. You're a lot of fun. Come on, man. Making my job hard. It's already hard. Yes, Valerie Boss, you can win again. If you've won a total tester, you can win a voucher. It's previous winners of vouchers who get second position. Yeah, this one's voucher time. Okay. Yeah, so if you've won a voucher before, I'll be checking and I'll look for somebody else. All right, just get closest without going over. Okay, there's the first legitimate guess by the person who was our, oh, it was over anyways, but yeah, the person who posted the first guess in my list went over, or was the first winner of a voucher ever. Wow, that one was really, really close. That's a closer one by the same person, interestingly. Wow. Very close, but over. Higher than that. Or maybe there is no higher one and you win. Ooh, did I get to get a closer one? Yes, there's a closer one. I like that one. Siegfried 888 is pronounced in Mandarin or Cantonese, meaning luck. So we have a chain of 888 restaurants around here. All right, nobody guesses pie. Oh, wow. Okay, way closer. Oh, man. 20 more seconds. Disappeared. Where did you go? Sorry. Something has occurred here. Okay, no, there it is. Why did you, hang on, I gotta look at something. I do not accept pass in this instance. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, there's somebody higher and closer. All right, we're gonna close it off now. I'm looking through the list. Really? I think you already won, but let me check that. Yeah, you already won. You have a high, you have the closest to somebody in this list, but you won way back when we started the program. 1, 2, 3. You're about the 10th winner overall. And I have somebody in my list here who I do not believe has won at all. I'm checking that list right now. No, you won too. Okay, then I have a winner. I know who it's going to be. I gotta find the entry. Oh my gosh. I think that was actually closer anyways. Okay, I got a winner. And I will tell you the winning number while I make notes in here, and you can look it up and see how well you think you did. The winning number was 967. And I know you're looking at your numbers, you're thinking of them. There was somebody here who wrote pass on one of their guesses. I am not accepting that pass because I don't show you as having won in the past. Passed. Entendre there. So putting that in my notes here, save that. I got to put it in my notes here. Oh, I did a lot of sliding and bumping and goofing. Okay, there it is. Save that, Control V, save. All right, all my documents are updated. Now we post the winner and the instructions on how the winner can receive their message. I show the winning number as 954 by Ping at 347. Congratulations, Ping. You have won a CompTIA voucher of anyone you want, anywhere in the world that they give tests except for CYSA. I just posted at 53 minutes past this hour the instructions on how to do it. I'm also going to put that up on screen so you can see what I've got there. And if you will send me an email, preferably today, that would be great. Then I will get that to CompTIA tonight, and they won't get it until Monday morning, of course, but it's off my plate for the weekend. So Ping, you're going to send me an email, and in the body of the email, you must include the following: your YouTube name, Ping, your given name, your real name, and if you've used one with CompTIA before, the same name that you've used with CompTIA. Same thing for your email address. Your email address must be in the body of the email. And if you've given an email address to CompTIA, it needs to be the same. Which exam do you want to take? Be specific by exam number: 220-1001, 220-1002, N10-007-008, whatever. I don't need the name, I need the exam number. And then what country do you intend to take the exam in? The name of the country. Don't tell me UK. United Kingdom is a whole bunch. It's the British Empire. There's a bunch of countries in there. So give me the name of the country. And if the name of that country happens to be the United States of America, I need to know the state where you're going to take your exam. That's everything. Send me that email. I just posted it. How to do all that stuff at 53 minutes past the hour. Copy and paste that into your own notes and documents. And send me an email today. That would be great. Alan Owens, I see that we're closer. Sorry, I'm no 967. You were exact. You were exact. And you were in time. Alan Owens. Alan Owens. You win also. I don't know how I'm going to pull that off, but you win also. So do the same thing. Send me an email with all that same stuff, copy and paste it and do that. I'm going to give away 2. I'll figure out how to make that happen. I'm making commitments that I don't have the authority to do, but I feel that they will allow me to do this because that was just, if you get an exact number, you deserve a win, right? So let me go update this file to say that I've done that. There you go. All right. You exist. You are the winner. So sorry about that, my friend. It's a busy time. All right, we'll go check for last questions, then we'll update final notes here and we'll wind things up with 4 minutes to go in the show. It's going to be just about perfecto. I posted those instructions, Alan, at 3:53, please. I typed pass though. I know you typed pass. You know what? If you want to pass and we can just send me an email. If you really want to pass, then I will accept your pass since Alan won. But if you send me an email that's got your claim information, I'm going to make you both winners. Okay. So I leave this up to you, Ping. If you send me an email today that says you want a voucher, you will have one. But if you send me an email today that says I pass on my voucher, then Alan, you are the sole winner. But wow. Yes, number was 967. Yep, Alan had the exact number. Sorry about that. So you guys found it too. Okay, you said I passed. Give it to Alan. I take that. Alan, you are the winner. Congratulations. And thank you, Ping. That's very honorable of you. Truly appreciate that. You will get a special dispensation in future. If there's something you want or need, I'll make sure you win it. All right. Congratulations to you both, though. Ping doesn't want this. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Very class. Absolutely. Class act on both of your parts. So very good. Okay. It's Alan's. Thank you, Ping. You're awesome. You are awesome. Okay. Well, that winds up everything on questions. Let me go into close down mode here. Yeah. With 1 minute and 45 seconds left, it's going to be a lovely, perfect close down, and we can talk about what's going on in the next week or so and do all the usual shutdown happy stuff. Where are you going? Why are you doing that? Oh man, dirty mouse. It's doing terrible things to me. Okay, there it goes. I don't want to do that. So time permitting, upcoming episodes. Next week, we're going to I can't get it down there effectively. We're going to do a 1x1 OLED display. I'm going to show you how to do that. You got to buy hardware to do that. In the US, if you're going to do it, it's going to cost you $10 US, give or take the same anywhere else in the world. And these are not supply chain problem parts. So it'll be cool. Take a look at the Discord channel in Raspberry Pi. I've got pictures of when I first set this up a couple of weeks ago, and you can see what we're going to do. It's kind of cool. Week after that, let's see, we're going to do Minecraft. Finally going to do Minecraft. And Andrew and I are starting this weekend and this week to work on the Nessus project. We will do Nessus on Raspberry Pi in 3 weeks, the week after Minecraft. That's the tentative plan, as long as it all goes as well as we hope. Mike's show on Monday, he doesn't have a special feature planned. Hope you got to see his show on Wednesday. He talked about MPLS and MGRE. Those are objectives in Network Plus N10008. So as ever, my eternal gratitude to Mike Myers, Andrew Hutz, even though he's not here today, he's still helping in spirit. Everybody at Total who so generously provides us with the time and resource. And most of all, my most heartfelt thanks goes to you and everyone who comes here to participate. This has been Dave Rush. I'm the senior instructor at Total Seminars and resident Pi specialist, wishing you a great weekend. Take care of each other, take serious steps to stay healthy, call or visit your parents, and never forget, technology is great, but the greatest resources we have are you and I. How about the greatest resource are you and I? Good night. We'll see you on Discord in about 5 to 10 minutes and at the AMAs next week. Until then, I am out of here. This presentation was recorded before a live studio audience and is a production of Total Seminars. No animals were hurt during the production of this program. That was perfect.